if you are a regular viewer of both this and the main channel, then you'll know that I was recently given the Arva Go P55 pressure washer to test out and to get my honest feedback on. Now, this particular pressure washer does come with a stubby gun, so this one here. However, I also have my MTM SGS35, which I do use quite often with my Kranzel K10, and I do prefer using this stubby gun. There are a couple of reasons why. Firstly, this one uses a bayonet fitting, so when you actually lock it in place, it's just not as quick as using the 1/4 inch quick release. It is still pretty quick, I will give it that, but it's just a little bit more awkward because you kind of have to orientate this in a certain position to get it to lock in properly. Whereas with the quick release one, obviously with it being round, you don't really have to do that. So that's really kind of quick, yeah, dead easy to do. And I prefer it, just feels a little bit more satisfying. So what I wanted to do is be able to find a solution for people like me who want to use this kind of gun, but with the Arva pressure washers. Now, because Arva are a relatively new brand, there aren't that many adapters out there as there are with sort of Karcher and things like that. So I did have to do a little bit of digging to be able to find one. But I have found one, and it is actually a Nilfisk adapter, and it's one that I purchased on Amazon, so I will pop a link to that in the description so you can find it. I'm not sure if every Nilfisk adapter works out there. I know there are a few different lines of those, but this one does work really well, so I obviously will link this in the description. This is actually my second time of purchasing one of these, as I did get it from another company from Amazon in the first place. However, unfortunately, despite them having options to select either a Karcher or a Nilfisk adapter on the website, I selected the Nilfisk one and they sent me the Karcher one, which has a different fitting to this, and I'll pop a sort of image on screen so you can see that, but the Nilfisk one has kind of a round hole for the hose, so make sure you are looking for that. So obviously this end goes into the hose, and I will test that out here so you can see. It is really easy to do so, and it just goes, slots really kind of quite easily in, and then if you want to release it, you do just have to pull the collar back. There we go. So yeah, nice and easy. So the other end of this is an M22 fitting. So it's an M22 by 14 fitting, which is compatible with pretty much every stubby gun out there. Obviously do make sure which one you're actually using, but most of them have this kind of sort of fitting. If, say, for example, you're switching from a Karcher to an Arva pressure washer or a Nilfisk, whatever you're doing, then you'll probably already have something like this on there, but obviously with that Karcher fitting, just unscrew it and it should look something like this, and that is the M22 fitting that you'll need. So this just really easily threads on the end of it. You don't actually have to use any PTFE tape, as hopefully you can see in there is an O-ring, so it won't leak. So this gun does have a swivel attached to it. It's the SGS35 rather than the SG35. The S stands for the swivel. So just make sure you grip that when you try and thread this in. But yeah, there we go. That is how it works, and I'll go outside and show you a demo so we can see that it doesn't cause any leaks. So one thing that I did really want to address, if you are going to be using an aftermarket stubby gun with any pressure washer, then you need to make sure that the nozzles that you're using have the correct orifice for that particular pressure washer, as they all have different flow rates and pressures, and basically you can cause problems if you aren't using the right orifice. So I'll unclip this so you can see. Hopefully you can see this kind of tiny little hole in there, and that is the orifice size. Basically, if that's too small, then you'll cause back pressure on the machine and you can potentially damage the pump permanently. Whereas if that hole is too large, you'll basically just get lower pressure. So personally, if I'm between orifice sizes, I will size up, as I'd rather get lower pressure and the maximum flow, not cause any issues to the pump. So with this Arva Go P55, the max pressure is 140 bar and the max flow is 7.5 litres per minute. So for that, I would use a 0.3 orifice, so it'd be an 030. That's what most companies will list it as. However, if you've got a pressure washer that has a higher flow, then you may need a bigger orifice than this. So if you do have a different pressure washer and you're unsure which orifice to use, then what I'm going to do is pop a link in the description to a chart that shows you basically pretty much every sort of max pressure and flow rate, and it'll tell you what orifice size you actually need to use for that. So yeah, that'll be in the description if you are unsure which to go for. I will also make sure to link this adapter in the description too, and if you have found this video helpful, please drop it a like, and thanks for watching.